the Mahoning Valley Daily Podcast.
All right, so joining me here today on the Mahoning Valley Daily Podcast is Mr. Todd Franko. That is a familiar name to a lot of folks because he used to be an editor over at our fair Vindicator publication. Glad to have you, Todd.
Glad to be here. Thanks, man. I appreciate the invite.
Yeah, and so in this capacity, we're having you here because we want to talk about the greatest golfer of the Valley tournament. But as we were just speaking about, it kind of has a more familiar or more formal moniker these days, and that is the greatest golfer of Youngstown.
Greatest golfer, Youngstown. Yeah.
So, and tell me about, because we're now in year 12 of this. How has it grown, and what has the response been, especially, after COVID? Are people just chomping at the bit, at the bit to get back on the course?
Yeah, it's been a weird life for 12 years, and I usually start the story by saying it's the greatest mistake that's ever happened to me.
Nice.
In terms of how we got here, how it got started, and the ingredients that came together. Greatest mistake or greatest fluke? But that said, here we are 12 years later. We are on the precipice of a record turnout. We got one more week with registrations, and we're at 300 golfers as we speak. Our peak number was 325 in year 4, and every year since we've been at that 280 to 305 number. So it's a great ride, and I can take you through the flukes and the twists and the unpredictable turns, but we are pleased to be it. People still call it a variety of names. It's greatest golfer Youngstown. It's Vindy greatest golfer. Still get that tossed at. So it's all good. Just call it something and show up and play.
That's right. And I kind of missed the local coverage of it in the last couple of years. Are we going to make sure that we have the daily headlines and everything in the newspapers?
Yeah. So the new Vindicator, the Warren Tribb Vindy, I think is the kind of, I'm not sure what the community's calling it these days. I still hear the Vindicator. I still hear the Warren Tribb edition of the Vindy. So
old habits die hard. Yeah.
The Warren Tribb Vindy team has been pretty responsive. So we like that coverage. They were there for us for juniors last weekend, but our home is definitely WFMJ. Thrilled to have that partnership continue, which is an extension of the Vindicator, a sister property. So they picked up right away when the Vindy closed, and we got restarted last year as a private venture. Greatest Golfer is a private venture run by me. And WFMJ was a great partner right out of the gate. So
everybody, semi-competitive golfer loves to have their name in lights whenever they do anything right. I'm sure if I ever get a hole-in-one, I'm running right to the news and right to the Vindicator, or whoever will take it. And I want my name in print. I want my name on the screen. So getting that little bit of quote unquote vindication, to pardon the pun, is part and parcel with why people sign up for this stuff, right?
Yeah, no doubt. And I think one of our secret sauces as a golf event is that we make sure to have media for you as well. So the news agendas of the Vindy and of FMJ, they have X amount of time for sports. And of course, once this time of year hits, from now until January, it's football for 90% sports diet and 10% volleyball, swimming, golf, hockey, lacrosse. Everything else tries to get in that 10% that's not football. So
right, you're an Olympic year.
Exactly, at Olympics. So our goal with Greatest is that we're going to have a content ecosystem that supplements and supports this sport, and we're there for all golfers. And hopefully, we have the Vindy and the FMJ and the other folks interested. But when they're not, you can come to Greatest Golfer.
Yeah, and that's so great, and it rounds out the field for the entire event. I was just playing a casual round, trying to get back from a broken thumb at Mill Creek a couple weeks ago, and it was right after the AJGA that they had there. And just getting on the first tee and seeing 3 rows of grandstands or 5 rows of grandstands made it feel that much more official, made my focus that much better. So I think that just adding this little air of professionality to local and regional people who really want to come out and test their skills against one another, it just makes it fantastic.
Yeah, when you look at Greatest, there's a lot of different ingredients I try and throw into it, but some of it is recognizing that us guys in our 40s, 50s, and 60s, we've not had that stage to perform on since our high school days, meaning we could perform, we can compete in our Thursday night league and whatever, but to take all that energy, but also put it on a stage of some substance that the general public wants to take a look at it for at least 1 week a year. That's kind of the stage we created with Greatest. And I think when you look at, TV today, I'm kind of a TV addict, a reality show addict. And I think when you see the formula for America's Got Talent, American Ninja Warrior, The Voice, all that, The Voice is nothing more than the talent competition at Poland Festival, at Strawberry
Right.
Festival, and the talent festival at the Canfield Fair. There's no difference at the Canfield Fair singing contest than there is at The Voice, except a media group, an event group, put some more bells and whistles, souped it up a bit, and we have a wider audience. So I think when you see some components of Greatest, I think it's about reality show kind of flair of giving locals a chance to perform, give them 15 minutes of fame, and then we go back to our 9-to-5 jobs. So I stole
absolutely works.
Stole a little bit from sports, stole a little bit from fantasy camp. The guys paying, millions to go hang out with 20-year retirees from the Mets team down in Florida, but also stole a little bit from reality show television and give me a chance to shine as I climb a wall and jump over water pods and whatever else.
You know what that reminds me of is, like, in the last 5 years or so, if you go to any type of event, they have a themed or sponsored backdrop that you take your picture in front of, and everyone stops and does that. And, before that, they never did that, but now it feels like you're on the red carpet every time you go somewhere. So it's those little touches that, like you said, it kind of blurs the line between entertainment and reality. But there again, most of the entertainment we're watching is being mined on the backs of just regular people doing regular things. And we like to watch it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, absolutely. And I think obviously we're not going to watch everybody, but I think if a group wants to say we're the best at something, heck, I find myself watching the cornhole championships on ESPN.
On the Ocho or whatever.
Yeah, and it's the corned beef. Some beef company is the sponsor, and I know it. John's the Johnstown Beef Company or something. I forget the name, but
maybe Johnsonville Brats, maybe Beef O'Grady Bowl.
Yeah. I know there's a meat sponsor that is the sponsor of cornhole, and there I am watching these guys flick it, and I'll give it 20 minutes. I watched the long drive contest.
Oh yeah.
On ESPN.
As fragmented as our viewing, environments are, there is an audience for everything, and sometimes there is a much greater audience than we ever realized.
Correct. Absolutely. And I'm stunned when I say people get into this and watch it, and there I am finding myself watching. My wife likes to watch the is it the Hell's Kitchen or whatever with
the Ramsay?
Chef Ramsay, and I think it's the British-based show where they're all four of them are trying to cook the same dessert and the same whatever. And, I found myself watching that.
Me too. Absolutely. So now I know what good sponge is. Me and my wife, we know exactly how a cookie's supposed to crumble, because that's how we like spending our evenings during quarantine. Yeah. Quite a few of them.
Yeah. So when you think all that, that's kind of what Greatest is.
Yeah, no, it's fantastic. So how's your game right now?
You know what? I have not touched a golf club in a month.
Okay.
A collision, a start of July collision of family travel. I'm seeing a lot of people, I don't know about your situation, but it seems that because of what we lost last year with COVID, that people have just doubled down on gatherings and events. And so we've been packed since we left July 1st for a vacation with some college buddies, got back for a few days. That rolled into a family event. Then we were right into Greatest Golfers. So I have not played golf, but I can shoot seven. There was a Saturday, Sunday in June where I shot 97 on Saturday and 79 on Sunday. So,
oh yeah, man after my own heart and my own game and my own tendencies. My goodness.
That's the golf world. That's the greatest golf world of Todd Franko. 97, 79. How about that?
Well, like for me, it's getting myself out of the woodwork and making sure that I have a set date and time to go play, or otherwise I just don't make it out. So like I'm part of the Y League, and that makes sure that I get my rounds in every couple of weeks, because I'm an alternate now. I got a little kid, But like this greatest of the golfer, it's another way to put the screws to me and say, you better get out there. You got a tee time, and it's going to be competitive golf like you're used to. You don't get a chance to take a bite at that apple anymore. So it's a real draw. I can't wait.
Yeah, it's been. Have you signed up yet? Are we getting you in?
Yes.
All right, nice.
Yeah, and luckily, and more or unluckily, I'm at my 8 for 9 handicap, so I'm going to be a 16 and 19, which means I got no excuse not to be able to show up and score. But it's well earned 8 right now. I'm really bad.
And I think you're going to be out at Reserve Run for Friday.
Okay. That's fair.
And then on Saturday, you're either at Youngstown or at Firestone. I forget which one the 16 to 19s are at.
Okay.
But it's I tell you what, greatest. It's fun. I mean, there's some videos on the Greatest Golfer YouTube channel, but you get guys like you that come out, and as much as I love the Plachinskis and the Porters and the Karsmers, it's fun bumping into the first timers who were in their 40s and 50s and they played league golf for years. And you watch the videos on YouTube. We just had one with Vic DePrilli and Josh Marsh, and they talk about the scenarios they've been in business, and yet first tee on Greatest Golfer, and they are shaking.
Yeah.
Dick Marlowe and Glenn Milton been competing around the country for years, and Dick, had his arm around Glenn's shoulder a couple of years ago in one of our interviews that we do, and he said, "Thanks for this. It gets us nervous, and to get us nervous at our age is saying something about what this vehicle does." So.
Absolutely. Marlowe can come and play. He'll shoot under par in league and not even blink an eye. It was as if he barely even put on his shorts to go play. So right. To get that guy shaking means that there is a competitive atmosphere there that, can be rivaled in very few other places. Yeah. So thank you very much for keeping it going. I mean, this is a fantastic venture, and, it's something I can't wait to take part in, and hopefully you'll see out there.
And as you take part, keep in mind, and one thing I got to make sure that greatest doesn't happen without our partners. So when you look at our social, when you look at our things, we need the support of the Valley. If you look at the businesses who've stepped up, because you're going to pay $150 for essentially a $220 opportunity. So 320 golfers are saving $70 or so, $100 if you took this put this event in Pittsburgh, put this event in Cleveland, in Charlotte, and you're going to pay, way more than we're paying here. And that's because the sponsors making sure that the media, that the trophies, that the prizes, that the gifts are all covered. So
no doubt. And this is a lot of golf that people were going to play anyway. So if they're going to get the advantages of being able to do it in this amazing atmosphere, you definitely got to pay it back.
Yeah. So just take a look at that and make sure that if not for Farmers National Bank and a bunch of others, this doesn't happen. The Moransky family made it happen the first year, along with Farmers. That's still a moment I remember that. If not for those two decisions, Farmers to sponsor it initially, and the Moransky family to donate the final round of golf at the Lake Club, we hit a price point that first year that allowed 97 golfers to say, why not? And with that initial, why not? It just started what we have today, and we're 350 golfers, 120 juniors, long drive out of Tippecanoe. And it all started with just a few folks saying, let's give it a shot.
That's so awesome. And so one more year in the books is going to be hopefully even better than all that have come before it. Website, how long do you have to register?
So go to thegreatestgolfer.com and you'll see links and store. Click into the story about, the course listings, whatever. But we're probably going to start. We've already sold out one division. Your division's almost sold out. The one above you is sold out, closed, the 20 to 24. And that decision to add that division this year is part of our greatest vision, that we need to make golf available and this competitive golf available for more than just the open players, right? We got to make room for the 10 to 12s want to compete, the 13 to 15s. So we've had your division up and down for the last couple of years. We dropped it last year because of COVID, brought it back. We also added 20 to 24 to give these, and it's sold out. We didn't know if it would sell out. It's sold out. So that's one's already closed. And we're going to start closing divisions every other day from now until next Saturday is what, August 8th, August 9th? If you're not in by August 6th, you're taking your chances.
Heard that. Well, I mean, I love it because even the hackers want to play it lying down, and they want to play it straight, and they want to see how they fare, compared to their peers.
Yeah, exactly. That's the stage that we offer.
Well, thank you very much for your time. I know I want to have you back because I'd love to talk with your other venture, which is Report for America, which is really, really important. So if I can bend your ear for another couple minutes at another time, that would be great.
I would take that invite. It's a critical thing. What happened to us at the Vindicator is happening around the country. And ultimately, when you see things like January 6th and what happened at the Capitol, we need a common vein of local news, local communication, a common agenda. We've got the CNNs, we've got the Foxes, local daily news, and what's going on at your school and your city council is vital for us. We lost a ton in 2019 when the Vindy closed. And my job with Report for America is about fixing that.
No doubt. And ever since you've seen this wave of closure of local news sources, you have the consolidation effort by national forces that essentially water down the narrative and make it less about local reporting. So to get as much money and as many more boots on the ground to actually do the reporting and give people what they've always known is a trusted local source for information in their local news, whether it be print or TV, is completely paramount to the democratic process.
No, it takes away from what's gotten it. For 300 years, local news has been the part of what's made America what it is. And for those 300 years, we've benefited from local advertising by Fluke funding the path for local news. And
that's what I thought of. I said, how was the absolute vein of understanding what's going on in your community simply tied to ad revenue?
So I tease folks, you would never trust your fire protection in your neighborhood to the Frito-Lay fire department. You would never trust your policing to the Pepperidge Farms police force. But yet we trust.
But if John Q. Buick is going to pay for a full page ad, then that means you're actually going to have a reporter on your block letting you know what happened.
It
Crazy.
is the craziest marriage that ever got created. Ben Franklin was part of the process, and that had happened. God bless us. But that said, it was a convenient marriage that is now broken forever. And communities need to find a new way to fund local news if they're going to know what their school board's doing, what their police force is doing, and even the good things. Who's playing at Cedars tonight?
That's
Who's
right.
playing at Westside Bowl? That we can't. I can't go to 47 Facebook pages to figure out where to go. We need, and there's certain cool things like fish fry lists and everything polling and stuff. But for some of that next tier of news about spending and taxes and what's right, we need something that's paid and trustworthy, and that's what the Vindicator was. So that's what I do. That's Report for America.
All right. Well, we will talk to you about that very soon. Thank you again for your time, Todd.
Ron, thanks for having me, sir. Appreciate it.
All right.